Yo, what's going on, everybody? DC here, host of What the Shit. You already know your favorite podcast, your mom's favorite podcast, your auntie's favorite podcast. The only podcast you can still get on flip phones and everywhere else. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, tune in every week as we give you some of the best content we have to offer, laughs, funds, games, and everything else. You can also catch us on the Be On Air Network, iHeart, iTunes, Spotify, you know what I'm saying? Pandora, everywhere you get your streaming. Also catch us every Wednesday, 8:15, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, all the above. You did? So make sure you watch, you like, you subscribe. Peace. Enjoy the episode.
We're starting, head ass. We're
What's
starting.
What the business is, people? This is What the Shit. Welcome to the show. Today is Wednesday, so you know what time it is. It's time for What the Shit. I was gonna roll some credits and all that other stuff, but I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm a little under the weather, so excuse me if my energy ain't where it should be. But I do got two amazing co-hosts who I'm going to let kind of run things tonight. So if anything is fucked up, please blame them and send him to them, not me. I'm just gonna press some buttons and make sure everybody look cool and sound cool, but I ain't gonna say much. But we do have a guest tonight. I like to let our guests introduce themselves. So if you want to give a brief introduction, tell people who you are and where you're from, and then I'll turn it over to these guys as soon as Boom get his mic together. Bonding a little bit.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. So my name is Unique Levine. I am from Brooklyn, New York, and I'm a domestic violence advocate. And I'm here on your show today. I appreciate you, all of you, having me.
Yes. So, boom. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm going through a little bit of bullshit myself, so I kind of feel like this is about to be some therapy
Boom.
for me.
Is she beating on you, boom?
Oh, my woman.
Is she beating on you, bro? Wait a minute. Don't come out here and tell me right now that
I got marks on
is
me.
she assaulting you, bro? Is she
Man,
assaulting you, bro? We got some help for you today. DC, how you feeling? I know you said you under the weather, bro.
I was about to say, I know y'all was. I know I might not be in the show, but y'all niggas gonna act like I wasn't here. Just go around.
Yeah, bro. Hell no. I'm about to hell no, bro. I'm just gonna ask you how you feel too. How you feeling? It seems like you going through a DV too. It's like a cold is whooping your ass.
I ain't been sleeping, man. No, I'm cool. I'm gonna jump in here and take over for a second. Appreciate everybody who's watching, tuning in. I do have. I need to get something off my chest.
Oh shit.
I seen somebody back into somebody's car today, and they was gonna peel off, but the dude jumped out and said, "What the hell is going on?" And this chick blamed her key. He's like, "My son flashed the phone in my face."
Did you just come back? Where the fuck was you at, bro? Where the fuck was you at? You gotta tell us the story.
I was at work in the parking lot. I was in the car, and it happened in my rearview mirror. So that shit ain't this big. So Pete, I'm sitting here. I'm listening to the radio. It's Cleveland Browns radio. So I'm like, damn, they talking about the Browns. All I hear is, I said, God damn. And it's right behind me so I can see it. So I'm looking in the mirror. I'm like, oh shit. She gonna try to pull off. He's like, hey. She's like, oh damn, look what you done made me do.
Hey yo, how the fuck you gonna blame the kid after she did this?
Bro, he looked at his car. He was like, She was like, I'm so sorry. This little motherfucker put the phone in my face. He was like, I didn't do nothing, mama. She was like, shut up, sit down, please start talking, put the seatbelt on, goddammit. So dude was like, it's all right. She was like, thank you. No, thank you. He's like, I heard her pull off. She was like, God damn it. I didn't think he was gonna fall for that one. I was like, ain't even my business.
Interesting day at work, bro. That's fucked up.
Well, I just want to say that I'm happy and excited because I've been on this show for a minute now, and I can do this. We here now, bitch. We
here, bitch. We made it, bitch. We real co-hosts now, bitch. Y'all done fucked up. Let me give you a clap. Hold on, boom. There
I
you
wasn't
go.
even,
That
I
boy
wasn't
cat
even
for my
going.
boy.
I wasn't even going to tell them they had superpowers. I was just going to
You
let them.
been to me. I knew I had superpowers early. I just didn't want to use them. I was like, I ain't gonna
No.
use this shit. I
I
got
be
power.
reading. You feel me? When you send me something, I ain't just click on it because I ain't know if you was trying to like, you know what I'm saying, take my bank account and shit, tell me I had to give you, you know, my life work and shit, you know what I'm saying? So I had to read through the fine print. But it
I
said I
mean,
can put up the comments on the screen.
it's kind of hurtful that you think I
Feel me?
would do something like that, my brother. I feel. I mean, I'm shook to my core. I'm devastated that you would think I would do some Ponzi scheme on you. Like I will bring you on this show, give you a co-hosting spot for free, and then on the back end swindle you out of $2.
I ain't gonna lie to you. That sound real legit. That
First
sound
off,
like
first
You
off,
can't,
that just
you
sound
can't
I,
legit.
believe the turnip.
first
I
off,
believe
I
that.
made $5 this year and you won't get it. So mind your business and don't call out my bank account no more.
Before we get to the show, shout out to Facebook. They paid me $5.
Facebook. You feel me? I got my 575 too, motherfucker. Fuck
I
you
was
talking
like
about.
$5 whole.
I said these niggas is looking out. Fuck it.
You treat me so well. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this whole 5 spot. Jesus Christ.
No, McDonald's got the $5 meals going on. Shout out to
nigga, they got a
McDonald's.
350 bill. Nigga, that bitch 350.
I don't want it.
Oh yeah, that might be some motherfucking
Mystery meat. We own it. I'm telling you, we already own it. It's too late. We already own it, bro. Mystery Meat Tuesday for McDonald's. We own it. It's Wednesday. We have a Wild Meat Wednesday at McDonald's. No Diddy. Diddy. I said no Diddy already. I said no Diddy already, bro. Relax.
Wild Meat Wednesday.
Relax, bro.
I'm gonna go ahead and fade out for a second. I'm gonna let y'all. That was a wild statement, and I don't want to follow that.
I said no Diddy already, bro.
Nigga,
it don't matter,
you
bro.
got to let that one breathe.
Get past it, bro.
You keep trying to put the no Diddy on it, and trying to. You niggas remind me. You remind me of the niggas that's trying to save Canadian bacon.
Oh man!
Enough of us. We have the beautiful.
Drake.
They can have to do with this, bro.
Because it's Drake. That's what I'm calling Drake. I'm calling Drake.
What do y'all got against Canadians, bro?
I'm calling Drake
Canadians. I ain't like Toronto for winning the championship. Fuck out of here, man. So the only time I voted for the light skinned niggas is when they went up against Toronto. Fuck them.
You talking about the light skinned niggas as in Golden State?
Yeah, that was a wild statement. Sorry, light skinned people.
Boom, do not. Even though he got powers, he still don't reflect the views and powers of this show.
Power. He go after a whole race of people.
Oh my god!
All right,
put on one comment and said, "Fuck them all." Jesus Christ!
Go ahead, sir.
Anyway, so today, y'all, we got the lovely, unique Louie. Please tell me I didn't butcher it.
Larry.
I butchered it. I butchered it anyway. Listen, I only got a GED. I tried. I went to school. I got my basic education, and I made it. And I apologize, but I'm gonna work on that, and I'll fix it. Say it one more time.
Don't say it again, Boom. Leave it alone, Boom.
Let's go.
There you go.
We got the beautiful, unique Lewy. I love that name too. I might steal it from one of my new daughters when I get one. But anyways, Miss Larry, how you doing? How can you introduce yourself to us and let us know, what you got going on before we even get into the story?
Boss already did that.
Okay, cool. So,
right
now I do nursing and pain management. So, when people's in pain, I'm the one that's there to help. Also, I have a podcast with my husband. We discuss relationships, on a positive and negative tip. Also, I have a book coming out. Say that
name
again.
of it.
Oh, sorry. It's Star to Star, a unique entertainment show. His name is Star. I'm unique. So, it's an entertainment show based on relationships.
I like
that. Yeah, we have our fun, talk about negative, positive things of that nature. And also, I have a book that I'm currently working on. It's been kind of hard, but I'm going to eventually get it out. It's called I'm Still Standing. It's a biography based on me, my situation, how I'm a DV survivor, as well as a DV advocate. And, that's pretty much it.
Sweet. It's on you, Court, because I got these questions. So you go ahead and jump in, bro.
So I wanna kind of talk about the book and kind of talk about the direction of the book for the people that don't know your story. Can you kind of give them a little
Okay.
insight? Because you kind of gave us a little insight before the show. Could you give them a little insight on what your book is kind of based on?
All right. So it's technically gonna be based on 6 years ago on Martin Luther King Day, I pretty much I was going through a domestic violence situation with a guy that was much older than me. At the time, I was 27. He was 48. And I was dating him for like maybe 3.5, 4 years. So the first 2 years, everything was going well. Within like the third year, he had lost his job. And that's when he became like more aggressive. He started drinking, started doing drugs, and that's when the abuse started. So, me being a woman, I loved him. I tried to make excuses for it. And, it led to me being in the hospital a lot, me trying to like hide black eyes and, getting stitches and things of that nature. So, eventually, I got tired of it. So after about a year and a half, going on 2 years, I got tired of it. So I tried to leave by going into the shelter system. I just packed one bag. I left everything because I was like being tired of going through that. So I went to the shelter and I finally had got my apartment. I got my apartment within like 2 to 3 months being in the shelter. And somehow he found me. When he found me, we end up having like a scuffle. At this point in my life, like I was tired of running, I was tired of being chased, and in the midst of the fight, like he pulled a knife out and I kind of blacked. But when I blacked out, I realized like when I came to that, he was on the floor, he wasn't moving. So, I called 911 and pretty much they told me like, he was like dead on the scene when he came. So the the major story to my book is pretty much letting everybody know that I was in a domestic violence situation. The person that was abusing me, he's no longer here because I accidentally stabbed him and he died. And I had to do 9.5 months in jail behind that. And I'm here to discuss my story, so to let everyone be aware of what can happen and how I'm here now.
So let me
So
ask you this. Go ahead. My bad, bro. Go ahead.
you got go ahead. Go ahead. You can
I was gonna ask you, do you feel like the 9 months that you received was justified? Do you feel like it should have been more or less?
Well, honestly, I feel I shouldn't have gotten anything. Why? Because while I was going through the domestic violence situation, I reached out to police. I had numerous reports on him. I had order protections. I had restraining orders. I was running, and every time they would come and get him from the house that we shared, they would let him right back out to where I would get a beating even worse. So I ran to the system for help, and the system failed me. So I feel like they failed me again because it had to lead to that. And yes, I did 9.5 months, but I don't believe I should have done anything. I believe if they would have locked him up and kept him away, this would have never led to that at all.
Yes,
So
I do want to ask a question.
Hmm.
I'm going, like I said, I'm trying to jump in too much. Um, it's kind of a two-part question. One being, for people who don't know some of the signs of somebody who's being abused, um,
Hmm.
and a good Samaritan might be able to see these signs. What are some things people should look for, just based off what you know, and some of the things that you might be telling people, when you're doing your avocation.
Okay, so me, I like to speak only off of experience.
Yeah, that's
So,
all I'm asking.
yeah, signs that I've seen from my experience is aggression. Look for things like he used to tell me things which, in the beginning, I was like, oh, it's cute, he loves me or whatever. If I can't have you, nobody can. So that's a serious thing right there. Look for signs like when if they don't like something you did, how they handle that situation. Do they handle it with aggression? Do they because I've been called a lot of names dealing with him. Do they talk to you and out of context and call you out of your name and just look for a lot of aggression, and sometimes they don't have aggression because in the beginning he wasn't like that. So I can honestly say, just when you see things that is considered a red flag to you, whether it's yelling, screaming, certain choice words, then those you should look for those things and see that it's a problem.
Part two. Sorry, part two, and I promise I'll be out
sorry.
here. I'm gonna back out. I promise. You mentioned the system and they kind of failed you. Have you looked into things you can advocate for as far as taking steps to kind of better, as far as where you're at in Brooklyn, the way they handle domestic violence victims and the treatment that they get?
Yeah, well, I was a person that had reached out to Safe Horizon. They are very good with helping placing women and men. And like, let's just say if you live with someone, some people say like, shelters is bad, but in these particular places, they like remove you and put you in places that don't look like it because you have to kind of like blend in with everybody else. So Safe Horizon is good. The domestic violence hotline. Me personally, like when I was in prison, and there's something called the STEPS program that's specifically for domestic violence victims. They help with counseling, whether you in jail or out, and they also help you with like job placement, anything that you need that will help you move on from that situation, or if you are still in a situation, they will help you get out of it. The STEPS program is one that really helped me.
So because it's a real interesting story, and
okay.
So I was wondering, I was here because you say you're married now. So how was
Yes.
that transition in trust in a new relationship and finding new things? Like how did you find yourself? You know what I'm saying? Because most people they shell up after being going through that type of experience. How did you find yourself in that time?
Okay, so when I first came home, I was locked up from January, and I actually got out in domestic violence month October. So when I got out in October, the first thing I did, like I honestly, because I have 4 children, I just spent my time with them because the 9 months that they took away from me, it was a lot for me, and I'm like really an active mom. So I spent a lot of time with my children, and then from there, the person that I was doing therapy with inside of jail, because I was in Rosen Single on Rikers Island, I continue to do therapy with her. Therapy, it helped me out a lot. So the reason why I say it helped me out a lot, because like how you said, people go into their shell. I didn't know how to deal with, because being that, before I got arrested, I was doing medical. I got into that situation, so I had to kind of like reprogram my brain to jail. And then when I got out, I had to reprogram my brain to become a mom and everything again. You understand? So therapy helped me out tremendously because it's sitting talking to somebody that don't really know you, don't judge you, so I can be open. Then what my therapist did, which I really liked, she would just let me talk, and then she would repeat back everything that I said. So then I knew like the type of mindset that I was in. So once I heard everything and I seen that the things that I needed to work on, I worked on that. And then once I worked on that, I was able to date again after like 2 years. First few I dated, I was like, But then, like, when I met my husband, I explained to him the situation that I've been through. He had so much patience with me. He was very understanding with it. So that's how, we became to where we at now, where we're married.
Yeah.
Okay, so
go ahead, bro. You got it. Go ahead, bro.
No, I was okay. So one of the people that's watching from my show had this to say. Pretty much it's two sides. She don't, like getting a one-sided story. She's not saying that what happened to you was okay, but she do wish she could hear his side because I guess some women can be antagonizing and hurtful to men, and that can bring them to a certain point. So she just like maybe can you
Okay, I can
try and speak from his
elaborate on
side?
that.
Okay.
Yeah, so honestly, so the thing what happened between me and him. So we the first 2 years we wasn't arguing and fighting. Yes, I'm younger than him. No, I'm not like a dramatic person or anything like that. We never was really arguing and fighting. The thing was with him, honestly, when I first met him, his mom, she kind of let me know, like, look, you know, he has a little temper problem, whatever the case may be. But I personally did not see that. And he has children, and his children's mother, she also told me the same thing. So now what happened with me and him, once he lost his job and come to find out, he was doing cocaine. I didn't know he was doing cocaine. Me growing up, I'm 27 years old, you know, I'm from the hood or whatever the case may be, but I always knew about like weed and, you know, liquor and things of that nature. I never knew what it looked like for a person that was doing cocaine. So being that he was working at the time, he was hiding it. You get what I'm saying? So then once he lost his job, that's when I seen like he was agitated all the time. At that time, I was in college, pursuing my career to be a nurse. You know, things were going well for me and things wasn't going well for him. I tried to be there for him. I tried to be there for his children and things of that nature, but he always was angry because I guess at that point in my life, I was doing well and he wasn't. He's young. I'm younger than him. He's older than me. So like I said, a lot of times, you know, he would pick arguments and stuff. Of course, I would argue back, you know, to defend myself. But when she's saying there's two sides to every story, the abuse started because of his anger. And that was anger and things that he had before he met me. So that's the only thing that
I will say. I will say a lot of times we get into relationships. We definitely gonna get back to you. I don't want to cut you off or anything, but we get into these relationships and we come with all this extra ass shit. We don't try and like clear our personal thoughts and our personal issues with the person.
What they be saying, boom? What they be saying on them date nights? Come healed. You need to come healed, motherfucker.
Don't come healed. You know, we don't come healed. And we end up bringing that into the relationship, and that definitely can be a problem. That's like me myself. Like, you know, I have a few options. I ain't trying to big head myself, but I do have a few options. But I know, like, I'm not mentally ready for that because I'll just be chilling and I think about something maybe my daughter said or my baby mama that said to me, and I just, man, like, don't talk to me right now, and you'll be having a good day. You know what I'm saying? I'll be done turn the whole energy into something else. So I know not to come until I got my head together, right? I want to ask you this question though. Kind of immature. Two questions actually. So first question is, what type of respect did you get while you was locked up? Second question, how do your husband approach you, like with his mindset? You know, because I mean, if you tell me a story about what you've been through, I'll probably be like, all right, let me be careful what I say. You know, so go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So, what's the first question again? I'm sorry, because I was.
What type of respect you got in jail? Like, you have a whole D block on. Is that your block?
No. All right. So when I first got there, honestly, like the first week, it wasn't registering where I was at. Why? Because like I said, I never really committed no crimes or anything like that, so I didn't know how to, you know, quote unquote jail. So my first month or two there, I had to like figure out the phones, and I when I did figure that out, I didn't want my mom or nobody to come see me like that because I still was trying to process what was going on, and then my face was like completely fucked up, like from fighting and all of that. Like, you know, I had received a cut on my face. I got cut.
They didn't take none of that into consideration, or is that part of the 9 months?
Well, once they did, you know, see all of that towards the end of the court date, I mean, the last court date or whatever, that's when they took all of that into consideration. And then that's when they acquitted me of all charges. But getting back to that, like, you know, after 2-3 months in jail, of course, I had the jail. Like, I had a few fights in there. You know, some people, when they, like, you have, like, some type of card when you're in there, and some of the CEOs, they tell your business, which I don't think that they should. So a lot of the girls did know why I was in there. So, you know, they would try to fuck with me, like, oh, who you in here for? Like, you done murdered somebody or something like that. And I had to deal with shit like that. So that's another reason why I went to, you know, get therapy and stuff, because not saying I'm not a fighter or nothing like that, but if I have to, then I'll defend myself. But in situations like that, it's like, you know, I'm trying to deal with being taken away from my family, deal with the fact that, you know, I harmed somebody. It was a bittersweet situation because I did love him, obviously, but I had to deal with the fact that he's gone and how he went. And then now I got to fight girls. I got to jail. Somebody got to tell me when I could shower, when I can't shower. So, you know, it was like, it was all over the place.
And you was in one of the worst jails in the world. One of the worst fucking jails in the world.
Was it Rikers?
Rikers, bro. Yes, bro. She said that shit, bro.
Rosen Singer.
really gelling in that bitch. That is,
I'm gonna jump in here. Sorry, I know I said I wasn't gonna jump in too much.
No, this is interesting. DC.
Yeah, man,
no. I'm not going where you was going. I want the mental aspect of all, because you just there was a whirlwind of a lot of different things going through at one time. Was there one? Were you able to find balance and keep your mind? Because a lot of times that'll break you, just being, especially in the circumstance, in the, the tragedy, it was kind of a shock to your system. How mentally were you able to kind of keep yourself together, one, and were you able to find balance, and kind of how long did you feel it took for you to find that mental balance of, okay, I'm here, but I'm not gonna let it, control me going forward, or how I am, or some people lose themselves in jail to where they went in this nice person, and because of what happens, it changes them. So can you kind of speak to that?
Right. So like I said, within the first I think month or two, that's when I requested the therapy. After the second session, that's when I was coming to, because she repeated back to me that, like how I was scared, I didn't want to accept what happened. Also, I have to accept what happened because now I'm here and I have to fight this case to, eventually prepare my mind to either do time or go home. I didn't know what was going on. So yeah, like I stayed about like 2 months. And then after the 2 months, like how I had to prepare myself, like once I realized, I'm like, okay, now I'm here. Being that I'm here now, it was like 2 women in there that I met that I still talk to now. One is an older woman, she's in her 50s, and one, she's my age. And once I sat down and talked to them, they kind of, told me why they was incarcerated, what helped them as far as like reading books, listening to your radio, going to rec, which is, going outside for an hour just to walk around and get some fresh air. And I also went into, they had like a mommy and me program where you would say like I can read a book to my child, they're recorded and put my picture in the baby picture instead, and then they'll send the pictures home. Like they'll make an actual like child book and they'll send it home. I was in a lot of programs that did that. And they also had like a Stella Adler program where it's an acting program that they had in Rikers Island. And I also did school, even though I had a college degree. I just did whatever was necessary just to keep my mind occupied so I wouldn't have to stay in the dorm. And then once I was in the dorm and I had to fight, they had to put me in the cell. So then when I had to deal with that, I did a lot of reading. Someone is asking, am I religious? I'm spiritual.
and the husband.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and the husband. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to hijack y'all show.
No, you good.
So you was asking like, how did my husband approach me as far as like, how did we get together? All right. Yes, so
not even how you got together. How do he deal with you at this point in y'all life? Like, how do he approach you? Like with his, because everybody not perfect, right? So I'm not saying like y'all relationship. No. So if he has an issue with something, like the walking on eggshell situation, knowing that you had to go through what you went through, how does he handle that with you?
He talks
even your mental, all that.
No. Like, so being that he knows my situation, and I don't even think this is just him, his personality, he talks to me a lot. He's not like aggressive person, but he's not passive at all. So the thing with him, like, let's just say I do something he don't like, because nobody's perfect, like you just stated. Look, babe, I don't like that. And we'll sit there, we'll have a discussion about it. Yes, sometimes it might get heated, we'll yell at each other, whatever, but then, he'll walk off. And then I'll be standing there looking stupid, and then he'll have to come back and revisit the conversation. So he's an older man, and he's been there, done that. So we don't have like no type of aggression in our relationship. He's been through stuff, I've been through stuff. So that's what makes us one.
I like that. Go ahead, Court. I know you got
something first. So, because I want to kind of like, I think we overlooking a bigger part of the story too. because you say you were one of the first women to be acquitted of this type of charge.
Yes.
And when this type of thing happens in our community, we have seen many injustice be played out with women being hurt in their relationship and not being able to be acquitted. And we have seen many things where women have been hurt and died. And how do you feel like the community supports you, or have you had any support from other women along this long journey? Because I mean, you say 9 months in jail, but this is a long journey of domestic violence and abuse. So I was just wondering how are you accepted amongst the community?
Oh, he went out. All right. So to answer the question that he was asking, I get a lot of support from my community. And the reason why I get a lot of support from my community, because everybody know who I am as a person. Like I said, nobody's perfect. But at the same time, like they knew the type of individual that I was dealing with. I was warned before I dealt with this individual. But being that I personally didn't see that, you know how like you could watch a movie or something and you be like, well, if that was me, I'd be running or I'd be doing this, I'd be doing that. But you never know until you're actually put in that situation. So when I seen him, it was all love. Like I said, we was going out. It was never no issue. So once it came to when I really realized the person that I was dealing with and that situation happened, you know, like I said, a lot of people stood behind me because they knew I was trying to get out on a positive way. I tried to break up with him numerous times. When it did get violent, I tried to leave. I done lost numerous apartments trying to jump around. I done went to shelters. I did everything that I was trying to do to avoid the situation. So being that everyone knows that, they support me because they know the individual I was dealing with and they know what I was dealing with. So yeah. And then I see somebody ask me a question saying like, what it says, spiritual, but how do you sleep at night? Do you have any nightmares? That's a lot of mental for a person who committed a crime. All right. So yes, I do sleep well at night. Like I said, this happened 6 years ago. And like I said, therapy helped me out tremendously. And I don't feel that I committed a crime. I defended myself. So anybody that's put in a situation where it is life or death, you ran, you called for police, you did everything you needed to do to try to avoid a violent situation, and you was put in a situation where you had to defend yourself. I don't believe that's a crime. Yes, I accidentally took someone's life due to the fact of, you know, me defending myself. I loved him. If I could have changed this, trust me, I would have wanted to change it. I didn't want it to end like that. And like I said, being that I was so afraid of him, I was running, I was going to shelters. I finally got my new apartment and this situation happened. Fight or fright. You know, I defended myself. I blacked out. I don't really know exactly what happened, but I just know that he died in the situation. So
I will
that
ask you
answers
this.
your question.
I ask you this. You let me know if this is too much for you. I definitely resend my question.
Okay.
When you first like came to after the blackout, how was you feeling? Like when you seen it, like oh my god, like what the fuck I do? Like how was you feeling?
Yeah, I broke down because like seeing, you know, what I saw, like I immediately broke down because like I said, I don't, you know, I can't describe it. Like when you black out, it's like it's a period of time where you don't really know what happened. And then when I came to, I'm looking around like, what the fuck? Like, did this really happen? You understand? So it's like it took a while for me to process, and then you know I tried to do CPR, whatever I needed to do, and then when I see stuff wasn't working, I called the cops. I tried to do everything to help because I didn't understand what I did. It didn't process me that he was gone until they came on the scene and announced that he was gone. You know, so yes, it was a lot to process, and it took. Even now, you know, I don't have nightmares or anything, but yes, it still bothers me. You know, so.
So I know that you didn't want to harm anybody, and it's probably most likely was an accident. When you never know what you're gonna do when you're back against the corner, right? I've been in those
Right.
positions and I've made it out of those positions, thankfully. I will ask you, how do you I don't know, like I don't know. I ain't gonna ask that question. Go ahead, Corey.
No, you can ask me if it's something that's uncomfortable, I would just, say it like that. But it's fine. Ask me. It's all right.
It's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
you have to deal with the fact that you've pretty much like took into life, right? But
Mm-hmm.
how do you feel knowing that you're relieved from this person?
Oh, I get it. All right. So let me take a second before
Yeah,
I
see, that's why
answer
I didn't want
that.
to ask because it's like a
No, no, no,
relief.
no.
You was leaving.
No, so I
and
can
and
answer
that's
it.
my thing because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
a couple of comments ago, people got a little touchy. I ain't like it because you say you try to avoid everything at all costs,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the part that's overlooked, and I think that's the biggest injustice
Mm-hmm.
right there
Right.
because people tell you when you're in a domestic violence dispute, they be like, run, get away,
Mm-hmm.
go find somewhere else to go. You don't have to stay there. And when a person does that and these type of things happen, you still get
Mm-hmm.
judged. You still be at the mercy of other people that never been in these type of situations at
Mm-hmm.
all. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like when you're in those type of situations, um, you can't really speak to that moment unless you have lived those situations. That's why I say everything is based off
Absolutely.
experience. Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
experience thing. I couldn't imagine being in that situation
Mm-hmm.
where I had to defend myself against somebody that I love,
Mm-hmm.
your back being against the wall. So that's the deeper injustice to me that
But
people
do you feel
overlook.
relieved though?
No, I get it. So, to answer your question, no, I won't say I feel relieved. I'm gonna rephrase that. I'm happy that I don't have to wake up wondering if I'm gonna get beat on today, or if I'm able to go see my mom or someone due to the fact that I got to cover up a black eye, or like one time my wrist was broken or whatever, I had to stay away from my family. It was just it was days that I had to mentally wake up and like, damn, like, do I really want to keep going through this? And so honestly, it's only a relief when it comes to me not being abused anymore, but it's not a relief that he is gone. Again, like I said, if things could have went another direction, honestly, like how I feel, I wish they would have locked him up, like to where he can still be alive, but he's just away, because it led to him stalking me. That's where I say where the system failed me, because when I reached out for help, order protection is just a piece of paper. So like how today is Wednesday, he would beat my ass or something like that, and then I would call police. Police will remove him from the scene. They'll lock him up. They didn't take domestic violence that serious. You know what I'm saying? If they didn't see like a visual mark right away. So they will let him back out and he'll come straight back to my house. And then if I'm leaving for work or whatever, I'll get my ass beat again and got to take off from work because, a situation occurred like that. So again, to answer your question, no, I'm not relieved that he's gone, but I'm absolutely relieved that I don't have to no longer go through this abuse. I feel like, the Most High God had me here for a reason, for me to let other people know that this is the things that can happen, and try to avoid this from them going through what I went through. You understand?
I got a problem with dudes who put their hands on women, right? I got 3 daughters, and now before I even had my daughters, I never was
Mm-hmm.
like an abuser towards women, like, right?
And not to
How,
cut you, it's not even just men, like it's women, because I know, like when I spoke to other people on other podcasts, it's men that go through this too. And when
we
I was
just
in the
ain't we
shelter,
can't
I
show no
spoke to men
emotion,
about
right?
that. Yeah, they don't show emotion, but a lot of men is too embarrassed to speak about this. This is why, like, I consistently speak on my story, because I'm not just speaking only for women. I'm speaking for men as well.
Well, okay. So, and with me saying that, okay. So, how do
Mm-hmm.
you think how from you being with this man? How was he
Mm-hmm.
around other men? Like, because a lot of times you will see
Oh
people and
gosh, yeah.
they yes sir, no sir, but then when they get
Yeah.
around a woman, it's yeah, bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, did you see any of that?
No, he was aggressive with a lot of people. Like I said, I didn't see the aggression until after he lost his job. But yeah, he wasn't like no punk, or he wouldn't like start trouble or nothing like that. But he was the type of individual like people knew, like, look, you gotta stay the hell away from him. He definitely be on that type of time.
Yeah, and domestic violence do go both ways.
Do go both ways. That shit
I'm
go both ways.
yeah.
I think that. Go ahead, my bad, brother.
Go ahead. You got it, brother. Never better, brother. Never better. You got it.
No, I was just gonna say, man, I think that when we, because you know that Mike Epps joke, he was like, the new rule.
Whoever gets to the phone first,
everyone's going to jail, right? But I think what ends up happening is, and I've met a lot of dudes, and I was around a lot of pimps, right? And these niggas used to say things like, and I didn't agree too much, but they used to say things like, if she big enough to go one, she big enough to take one. But in my mind, I'm like, bro, I know for a fact I'll fuck her up, no matter how much she talking, no matter how boss she is. Like, the most I'm gonna do is grab her because I know what I do to her. I know, regardless of how tough she talking, I know. So I felt like a lot of men, it's like going to kindergarten and beating up everybody at the school when I'm 20 years old, talking about, I just knocked up 10 niggas. Like, they was all in kindergarten, bro. Like, that's how I feel about it. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not about to let Layla swing on me either. You feel me? I leave me and her gonna have to box it out. You feel me? But at the same time, though, I do feel like some of us, we can walk away from a lot of these things, especially as men. The women, I get it, because we protectors and securities, number one. So a lot of women, they go ahead and depend on the men. But as a man, even if we depend on that woman, it's easier for us to walk off than it is for a woman and her security and protection from that man. So I definitely don't agree with men putting their hands on it, but it definitely go both ways, man. So y'all women stop beating up these men too, because I got a video of a woman stumping a man out for real, like, and I'm like, dang, bro, you gonna sit there. Yeah, that's crazy work. But
what you said, you gonna say, dang, bro, you gonna sit there and take that. He really getting abused on. You probably try to leave too.
Because I've met some guys like that.
And I'm being educated right now. That's why I'm glad I'm on this show. I'm glad DC ran this show, because I'm being educated right now. And I do know that there are men that get abused. It's not aware as it is, as with women, because
it's a pride thing. It's a pride thing with the guys too.
Exactly.
Ain't no man about to come out and be like, my girl be in there beating me, and ain't no guy gonna come out and say that to you, bro.
Because there's a stigma.
It's a stigma. It's a stigma that is not a man supposed to be so strong. Like you just said, boom. I feel like I could take on any girl. I feel like I can do that. It's man out here that's really being abused, bro.
No, that's a fact, man. That's a fact.
What's the dude? There's a little dude that was getting abused from Detroit. It's not funny, see?
The one she was smacking.
You know what I'm talking about, bro? She was smacking him up on the videos. Yeah, bro. Really
she went to the other creator. She down there messed that man's up. But check this out. This what I think. This what kills me though, right? Even if we was to, like, let's just say, okay, she abusing me. Finally, I just snapped and snapped on her, right? I'm still I lose. Like, as a man, we gonna lose either way. Like, on the woman's side, it's like, all right, you finally did it, girl. Finally, I'm glad you got out that position. As a man, it's like, oh, bro, you could have just left. You shouldn't even beat her up, because once I snap and I start pounding her out, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm still wrong. Either way, I shouldn't be standing there, or I shouldn't defend myself because it's a woman. Like, either way, like, we lose as a man. So I do think that it is because you ain't listen, bro. Listen, DC.
No, who do we lose to?
He said
we lose to society.
He said you lose to the court system.
But I'm still gonna be known as an abuser. I could go through abuse for the 3 years, get beat up by my woman for 3 years, and then finally
that's the stigma. I think that's the stigma that everybody's talking about tonight. Like, people think that that's the standard. I think that's what I'm saying. It's an experience thing. We have never been in that situation to know what you will actually do. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
true.
To me, I can't sit here and say that's what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna be this way, because I don't know what I would do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what I would do being put in that situation, because like she said, it was a lot of other elements involved in their relationship. You know what I'm saying? You got the drug exploit, you got stuff that she don't know. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you don't know until you put in that situation. And I think for guys, when we get put in that situation, we tend to be like, all right, I'm just gonna man up and take it. It is what it is. My girlfriend just aggressive. She's real aggressive. Really, really aggressive.
I'm sorry, I don't know if it's just on my end, but it sounds like y'all breaking up.
The 1990s. My very favorite decade, especially for music. This is Dope Nostalgia, and I'm your host, Naomi Carmack. And every week, we revisit the era that brought us Hammer Pants, Crystal Pepsi, Pogs, Hypercolor, Pokemon, and some of the greatest songs of all time. On Dope Nostalgia, not only do I have episodes where I talk about the big artists of the 90s with friends, but sometimes those big artists come on the show. Past guests include Naughty by Nature, George Lamond, Alana Miles, Color Me Bad, Biff Naked, Ed the Sock, Shakespeare's Sister, Two Unlimited, The Funky Bunch, Technotronic, Rosala, Tara Kemp, Mr. Big, Honeymoon Suite, Right Said Fred, and so many more. You can always leave us a voicemail and tell us what you think, and we'll play it on the show. 780-851-8785. Dope Nostalgia, a podcast made for 90s kids like me. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, Podbean, Stitcher, and wherever podcasts are served.
Is it both of us? Is everybody breaking up?
I ain't said nothing, so it couldn't be me. But
no, it's not you. It's them too.
I'm breaking up too.
Oh no, I hear you perfectly fine. Okay.
So I'll speak.
Yeah.
I
think
there's a weird stigma in America, just. But
okay, now it sounds like you quit. Oh, somebody else said it too, so it wasn't just my end. Okay.
I'm confused.
Yes,
all right. The stigma.
Yeah, what we said? The stigma.
It's wild how, because like Boom said, as guys, you're supposed to be this and that, which I don't subscribe to that. If you're getting abused, you're getting abused. I don't care if you're man or woman.
Call a hotline. Call a domestic abuse hotline, bro.
I think sometimes, and again, I can't speak to the situation because I've never been in it. I do know some people who have been, but I still won't speak to it like I've been in it. But loving somebody is a hard thing to just cut off. Especially when you really deeply care about somebody. There's a lot of things. There's a certain line that you'll go to for that person. And I think we have to remember that we're not in these people's shoes, so we can't tell somebody how to love or how to stop loving, because it's not as easy as people think. And I think that's the problem. Even on the internet, we want to live people's lives and tell them how to live their lives or what they should have done or could have done. And most of us have a hard time living our own lives. So instead of trying to tell somebody what they should have done, at least if you're not helping them, then probably shut the fuck up. Because you telling people what they should have did or what you would have, if that was me, especially in my community, there's too many if that was me's in a situation.
Exactly.
Where if you see the situation, you knew what's going on, you should have been that instead of if that was.
That's right.
Because some of us, we see the signs, we just be like, that ain't none of my business. And I'm gonna walk on instead of trying to help. So I think that's where the problem lies. It's not just the people in the situation, it's the people around the situation in that ecosystem that is caught up in it, but they're either trying to ignore it or they're hoping it gets better, somehow magically praying it out. And that's cool and everything, but unless you're actually doing something, I think we need to stop trying to tell victims how they should be victims. That's the problem with this country. We want to tell people what and how they should do things in somebody else's standards who haven't been in those shoes and in that situation. It's easy to preach from a pedestal and try to tell somebody what would happen in happenstance without experience. I can't tell Joe Montana how to throw a touchdown pass and I ain't never played quarterback. We need to stop telling people how to be victims and how they should victim. I don't care how long it's been. You can't tell somebody how their pain or what they feel or how valid it is. I just think that's what's wrong with this country as a whole. We want to live vicariously through everybody but ourselves.
Absolutely.
I agree with you. And I think that we also have to, put abuses in all of the all categories of abuses on the table, right? You got the physical abuse, the verbal abuse, you have the psychological abuse, sexual abuse, even digital abuse nowadays with all the social media, going on. shit, I'm hearing I'm hearing there's something going around called reproductive coercion. Anybody heard of that?
No.
So it's pretty much where the other person manipulates the other person having a child, right? So it's like, you don't have my baby, or and that comes on both sides too, right? Even with a lot of these men saying they don't want a baby, and then a lot of the so it gets real crazy when we start talking about abuse and how everybody is just looking at it as far as just physical abuse, man. I just think that people should definitely watch the signs of any abuse. Somebody verbally abusive to you, calling you out your name daily. That mean they have no respect for you, obviously. Financially abusing you. I mean, you trying to go to work and take care of the bills, and they only worried about what they can get. It's so much, man. Emotional. A person is sad, and you get your sad ass up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a lot of different abuses that people need to watch out for, and try to make sure that they're not victimized of these situations. On my thoughts, I think we lost our guest. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I think it was just having her on the show today. You know what I'm saying? It speaks to a different volume. It show you how it could go really, really bad, bro. How a domestic dispute that you keep trying and trying and trying to get away can go really, really bad. So if you got them signs, like she said, like if you see all the aggression, if you see somebody doing what Boom saying, being emotional, abusive to you, and doing all that stuff to you, you need to find your way out. You know what I'm saying? Or we like we said, having her here today, you just see how bad it can go. And like she said, she ended up doing 9 months losing time with her kids, and stuff like that. And I think that's the real injustice. Like I'm gonna keep saying that all night because the system really will fail you, especially when you black. Especially
so what's some Miss Unique? What's some of the abuses you've seen outside of your own personal situation that you would like to address for women or men too? Everybody.
I can't hear anything.
You can't hear? Oh, she can't hear us. Can you hear DC? DC, say something to her. See if she can hear you, please, sir.
Hello.
She can't hear none of us. She typed it right now. She said
can you hear any of us?
She said everything muffled.
I don't know. Somebody sound extremely muffled.
She must got that. It's okay if you in it. It's okay. It's okay. It might be your Wi-Fi. You download something?
I still can't hear you.
It's okay.
I'm lost.
I don't know. She said she can't hear us, bro. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's us or if it's her. I don't know, but she here. She here nonetheless. You feel me? So,
oh man, I mean,
which is the best thing. Like, what I'm saying, at the end of the day, man, I do commend her, and we can all take a look at her and be like, you know what, we can make it out of this situation. Good or bad, we can get out of this situation, man. No matter how we have to get out of this situation, we can get out of this situations, and pretty much it's nerve wracking. It's hurtful. And it hurt. I don't know this lady, but I'm touched as well because it's like I got 3 daughters. I would never want them to have to experience what this woman goes through. So she definitely could be like, a testimony to my daughters. Like, this is what could happen. Be careful. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me ask you a question. As a father, do you fear something like that? Do you try to? What's your game plan to teach your daughters how not to end up with someone like that?
So only thing that I can do, DC, honestly, bro, is lead by example, right? That's pretty much all I can do. I know that's the cliche answer, but that's really all I can do. Number one, I ain't have a father. I also watched dudes beat up their girlfriends, and they used to piss me off, bro, because I watch them beat up their girlfriends, and they supposedly my friends. And I actually got into it with one of the homies at the time. Now, somebody did tell me, you do not jump into nobody else's problems. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll turn on you. You never know what could happen during that situation when you're trying to help. But because I didn't have a father, I had to raise myself how to be a man. The only thing I can show my daughters is like what I would expect them to expect, nothing less. A man that's going to do whatever he has to do for you. And if a man ain't gonna do what I would do for you, then you probably don't need him. And if you see me beating on a woman, then you call the police. Like I tell my kids, like, y'all ever see me put my hands on y'all mama, y'all know 911. You know what I'm saying? Do not hesitate, because that ain't right. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably about the only thing that I could do is tell them that, and then show them, like, what I think a man should be, and that's what I think a man should be. You know what I'm saying? That's it. But the thing is, what I do fear for my daughters is the fact that I try to give them the information, and since society is telling them how they can live, they're kind of rebellious on what I give them, right? But what they don't understand is I only have 3 of y'all, right? So if all y'all go out here acting like the people that's going crazy right now, or my coochie pink booty, y'all go out here acting like that, disrespecting these dudes. Number one, I can only save one of y'all, because then I'm gonna be in jail, right? So then the other 2, you know what I'm saying, I can't save y'all. So y'all all have to come with respect. Number 2, y'all can't be out here talking to these men as if they're less than, regardless, even if they are. Y'all can't, because last time I checked, man, these women are, getting shot, pow, pew-pewed, because they don't give a phone number out. You feel me? A man asks them for their phone number, they say no. Now they got to deal with the fact that they might not make it home, all because they didn't want to get this man their phone number. So it's like, I try to teach them to be careful with who they talk to, be visual.
See, that's where I want to stop you at. That's where I want to get to the crux of my position. Why you just said they shouldn't have to fear giving their man a number out, and they should watch how they talk to a man and all this and that. Why?
Because these dudes out here hasn't been raised correctly. I'm not saying they just supposed to instantly just respect a man. Like, as soon as you see a man respecting, no, because every man don't deserve respect. And the ones that's out here pew-pewing because you won't give them the number is definitely a man that don't deserve respect. But at the same time, you have to be vigilant of where you at, who you're around, and what type of men is around, because these dudes are weird. And so even if you get yourself in that position, like I told my daughters, like, tell them your number is 330-765-4321. You feel me? That's your phone number, or make a fake account. You feel me? Make a fake phone number. Give them that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but you have to be careful, because these dudes is weird. They not being raised correctly. They don't have any morals. They don't have any respect for themselves. So they definitely not going to have respect for you. Every other word is bitch, hoe, slut, fuck them, so it's like, you got to be careful with that. But if you out here wanting to be in the scenes, you want to be around these people, things like this can happen. And you can't be saved every time. You know what I'm saying? They can't. And so it's scary for me, for women.
And then, like I said, her story is very unique, because I think she said she was one of the few women that was acquitted of that charge.
So other than that, they don't even want to be on her side.
There's a lot of women sitting in jail, bro, right
now. For defending themselves.
Bro. So what we saying right now, bro, she is one of the few, like, to be acquitted of this charge. I think she said she was
first in New York.
First in New York. I'm sorry. First in New York to be acquitted. So, come on now.
That's a testimony.
You know what I'm saying? It can go really, really bad, bro. It's a unique story. I think like that.
Boom. I think I really was trying to ask you is, I think it's accountability of parents. It's the parents that and then it's an oxymoron to say that, because you can't always police your kids. That's the other thing about it. You want to try to be that their parent, but you don't want to be a helicopter parent. You don't want to be the mean parent, but you don't want to always be the fun parent. And I think too many times we get lost in parenting that's fucked up, man. I don't know if y'all know this, but
worst hood you ever been in, parenthood.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, you teaching kids right and wrong is not going to guarantee, this happens. But I think the other issue is, as she mentioned, like the justice system not taking threat seriously, or not wanting to put in the time and effort, or making a police report, or just chalking it up to, hood shit. I think that needs to be fixed, because too many times we hear these stories of women who, and men who went and got police reports, restraining orders, and all this and that, and none of it stopped anything. Sometimes it makes it worse. I don't know what the deterrent is or the fix. People that, get paid way more than me and drive fancier cars can't fix it. So I'm sure as hell not gonna be able to, especially not here tonight. But I think it's something that needs to be worked on. It's reforming domestic violence laws. I don't know, make it tougher. I don't know, man. It got to be something that needs to be done because
I'm a victim of domestic violence from my own daughter. Recently, within the last 7 days, I've been having to go through some domestic violence situation with my own child, and it's like it hurts because no matter what I've done or what I've tried to do, what I've tried to switch up, it's like it's never good enough for my oldest daughter. And for her to lash out on me and we have to go through the shit that we're going through now because of her decisions trips me out. Like everything that you asked to make your life the way that you want it scares me because it's like, okay, so now once you leave me and you're grown, because she's 15 now, so she's 3 years away from being, the adult. It's like, how you gonna act with these other guys out here? Because I'm nothing like them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got, I'm with the shit. Like, don't get it twisted. Niggas know me from the hood and shit, but nigga, I'm a defender more than I am an offender. You feel me? I'm not about to be on the offense most of the time. Most of the time, I'm like, all right, bro, go on about your business. You know what I'm saying? I have to defend myself. Most dudes out here, you just can't say anything to them without them just straight going offensive. You got me fucked up, blah, blah, blah. And so my fear for my daughter is like, bro, if you go out here acting like this to them, they're not going to treat you the same way that I'm going to treat you. Like, they're not going to look past some of the words that you saying to me, to them. Like, and she don't understand that. And that's the problem. So when you do say it start with parenting, you correct. But at the same time, it's like, you want to keep them away from social media, but then you take the phone away. That's an issue. You take the TV away. That's an issue. Bless you, brother. You take these things away so they can't be connected to the world. And now you're really a problem. And then when you let them connect to the world, that makes it more of a problem. When I was talking to this lady about our situation, she was telling me like, well, you don't want to send her to juvenile. You don't want to send her to group homes because, like you were saying, it could make it worse, right? Because they get in there, they learn something new from the motherfuckers that's in there. Now they know how to play, you know what I'm saying? Now they know how to play even more crazier. Like, so it's just like, it's a lose-lose, man. Shout out to you, Court, because I never heard that, bro. The worst hood is parenthood. The worst hood nigga ever been in.
The worst fucking hood you ever been in is parenthood. This shit is tacky.
And I can't believe, like I'm going through it right now. Arm itching like a motherfucking dog, like scabs and shit. Like, bro.
Damn, bro. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. But like I said, bro, like even with that situation, bro, you gotta find some peace, bro. You got to, bro. You can't allow yourself to be in that type of situation. Because you know what I'm saying? Like you said, she's 3 years away from being grown. She know right from wrong. I'm pretty sure, like you said, you ain't had no father. So for a lot of us, we winging this shit. Like I said a few weeks ago, this is a process, bro. And a lot of people
come with no handbook.
It didn't come with no fucking handbook. That's why it's the worst hood you ever been in, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because in the normal hood, at least you know what the fuck you're up against. And parenthood, you don't know what you up against. You feel me? That's
like a box of chocolate when you pop out with them kids.
You fuck around and you fuck these kids that fucked you up. You know what I'm saying? And I think just learning from everybody's experience. You know what I'm saying? Everybody experience. My brother, he going through some stuff with his situation, with his kid, and I watch him go through that shit. I'm like, fuck. I'm up next. I'm on deck. I'm up next. My son only 4. So, like I said, my experience is different, but we still fight vices. You're gonna fight vices as parents, bro. And I think any situation that you in is about how you shake out, bro. But parenthood is the ghetto.
What about you, DC? You a parent, right?
On the weekends.
I feel like so on the weekends.
I am. My son is 15, but he's at an age to where he's tall and his voice is changing. So now I'm at the point where I'm trying to teach you. I will talk you to you with respect, because that's what you deserve as a man. But at the same time, you're still a kid. So you got to find that balance to where in this house, yeah, we know you're a kid, but outside them streets, they looking at a grown man now. So learning respect and how to, and I'm not gonna say talk to put people the right way, but because that's with respect, but I'm not going to teach him to be afraid to speak his mind at the same time. He knows right from wrong, but trying to teach him how to fear the world isn't the best way to live. But at the same time, you want him to be fearful of the world, if that makes sense. So being able to know that balance of there's a time and a place for everything, and there's some people who you can talk to with the level head, and there's some people who no matter what you do, they're not gonna want to hear you. And sometimes that may be the police, it may be whoever, but you need to know to not escalate a situation that you're not in control of.
It's definitely pretty much seed planting. Like you plant the seed, then you just gotta let it grow. If they take it, they take it. If they don't, they don't. That's pretty much all we can do. Experience from what I've learned.
I mean, that's all anybody can do is prepare for the best, and hope for the best, but also at the same time have a backup plan that might be the worst. But you just like I said, man, it's about finding balance and having an open conversation. We have an open conversation with our son. Some things you might not want to hear, but you gotta have that conversation. You know what I mean? Because if
when
not,
do we take the when do we take the God approach, right? Because last time I checked, when his children pissed him off, he kicked him and his niggas about it. Y'all all gotta go. Well, he kicked him about the house though. Like the rest of the niggas might have went, but
different times, brother. That was back when it was lawless. Now you kick somebody out before they ready. They can end up dead in jail, or you can be dead or in jail. So I mean,
if they want to go, you can emancipate their ass, get them up out of here. Get them up out of here.
I ain't got to worry.
Out of here, boom. You ready to go? You ready to go?
See, we ain't got that problem because while not knowing how to be a parent, I took the approach of I'm going to treat you like an adult. Once you reach a certain age to where you know what's going on, right and wrong, and you ain't peeing down your leg every moment, like something like that, then we start escalating the maturity level of what goes on in the house. When he was 8, I was teaching him small things, how to play video games, reading, writing, stuff like that. Once you start reaching 10, that's when we expand a little bit more on how much of the world we show you. Now he's 15. I'm throwing everything at you because you ain't got much time left before you out here on your, not saying on your own, but before the world legally looks at you like we can draft you to war if we want to tomorrow. Shut your mouth. So trying to teach him, little things, cooking, getting a routine, not staying up late all night and then you sleep all day and then, stuff like that. So just getting in the habit of, finding routine, keeping your mind sharp. I don't care how you do it. He likes video games. I'm not against it.
Big facts, man. I will say this though, man. We as men or men that are out here, that's looking for relationships and shit, man. Just don't take my approach, man. Look at me as a testimony and do not take my approach, bro, because where we do mess up at is it does start with the parenting, right? And it does start with who you choose to have your children with. But you also have to go and do your research on that person's family, man or woman. You have to go do your research on what type of family they have, because their family can influence your children as well. So you can be trying to do these things and make a difference. But if the whole family is a certain way that's stuck in their ways and they pretty much telling your child they good with them, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty much gonna be even more difficult for you to raise your child, because I tell you right now, man, I'm not gonna down anybody that's in my kids' family, immediate family, my family, or anything. But what I do know is that what I've tried to do with my kids, nobody else ever done with their kids or mine. They haven't tried it. They didn't give a goddamn, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to do is something totally different than what everybody else that around us have done. And with that being said, I'll almost end up looking like a bigger person, I guess. Like, oh, you think you're better than somebody? No, I think I'm just trying something different, like, than what everybody else is doing, because everybody's still doing the same shit. And in return, my kids like what everybody else is doing and not what I'm doing. You feel me? And so I still lose. Like I'm battling my kids and the family. So it comes a time where it's the point where I'm about to have to walk off. You feel me? And that's the hurtful thing, like, because like I told my kids, and I told them, like, man, I'm gonna have to watch y'all drown. You feel me? And that's fucked up because of y'all decision making and everybody else's decision making. And I see what the fuck, like if you can see where everything is going on, you see where everybody's ventured off into and where that gotten them, and you still want to go with that direction. I have no choice but to watch you drown. That's gonna kill me inside. Cause how I'm gonna be out here on a jet ski, like fuck them kids. I'm out here jet skiing state to state, you know what I'm saying? And my kids is drowning.
Where did he come from?
That nigga said he on vacation. That's what my nigga said.
Because what ends up happening is when you say fuck them, you end up being able to get them tickets. You feel me? You can get them tickets. You can start renting shit because you ain't got no motherfucking kids to worry about. We talking about $20 shoes when we say fuck them. You know what I'm saying? We talking about Goodwill clothes now because, I mean, the fuck I'm about to, go crazy for. Nigga, I'm going to make sure your feet covered and your back is covered until you can cover it yourself. And they ain't got to be Nautica, Nike, Gucci, Jordan, none of that. It could be straight out the Amazon shopping cart. Like, you feel me? So that then return makes it to where I can pay for a jet ski.
Get your slacks the same place you get your blender. It's horrible.
Horrible. Oh my God.
Hey. And I started buying PlayStation.
I ain't gonna say y'all fucked up, but y'all might have fucked up.
If I go to a shopping cart, it's a tire, a blender, and a pair of slacks, nigga, I'm whooping your ass.
Hey,
but I mean, at the end of the day, you talk to me like
everything
you talk to me.
One package, DC. That is insane.
One box,
big ass Amazon box.
And they rolled the fucking pants up
and bought Dove soap. Damn.
I'm saying they can't even help me get no toilet paper. You feel me? Can't even help me wipe my ass, but want to talk to me like you can. You feel me? So it's like, okay, well then let me tell you what I can get you, or you can get it yourself. You want it? You feel me? Go get it yourself.
Well, I don't know, but I do appreciate our guest for coming. I know she had
I promise you.
Technical difficulty.
Conversation. It's part of the good conversation.
I will say this. There needs to be change. I mean, the whole damn I don't know, government shit need to be rethought, but that's not my place to say anything because I don't get paid for that. But what I'll say is we do need to be more mindful of people and stop trying to tell people what they need to do or how they should do it if you're not really giving them a solution, because just telling them, oh yeah, you need to leave. Well, bitch, I know that, but help me. How can I leave? That's the thing we need to work on, and more, instead of just statements, more action. Because you telling me how to do something or telling me something I need to do that I already know doesn't help me do it. So just being mindful of people and their situations and stop trying to tell people how to do things. I think it'd go a long way. I don't know about you guys, but one school of thought. The other thing is our guest next week is the mayor of Podfest. That's her official title. She's a brand ambassador there. She is a wild podcaster from Atlanta, Georgia. The name of her show is Talk Shit with P. She was a part of the March of the Record book 2 years ago. I got the chance to meet her in person. She's a fucking ball of energy. She kind of tired me out the way she's bouncing around the halls of the Podfest in January. So she'll be here next week. She's going to be talking about, they have a thing for new podcasters. If you haven't been to Podfest, they're starting a kind of a newbie thing. If your first year was last year, they're starting something for that. I will be in Podfest this year. Well, actually, next year in January it's happening. My ticket is already bought. Yes, sir.
They canceled it.
They didn't cancel nothing. Podfest is still going as far as I know.
Where's it located?
Orlando. Beautiful Orlando, Florida. It was nice.
I'm gonna have fun with this guest next week too.
Podfest was amazing. I ain't gonna tell her business, but she almost got me high. Anywho, as you say, let's just put it, I'm gonna put it to you like this. She the Podfest plug. She know everybody, she know where to get everything. I met her, like I said.
You know what her title was? You said the fucking mayor.
She's the mayor of Podfest, Podfest ambassador. Like, she knows
I don't doubt it.
Not just to keep, bro. She will point people out that you should talk to who doing shit. And she also, like I said, know who to, she know what's hot in the Podfest streets. I'll say that. So going there, being at Podfest, meeting audience, I mean, I'm saying, over 1,000 podcasters in one place. You had vendors from StreamYard, all different kind of places. And they were teaching different classes. It was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? We met up with a bunch of other Black podcasters, took over a whole hallway and did a bunch of shows in this hallway. It was an amazing time. Well worth the money because I've never been to anything like that. And as a podcaster who does it virtually most of the time, being out in a place where there's so much positive energy and people who create and are on so many different levels, but also so many different places doing the same thing as you is an amazing thing to see. So if you've never been to Podfest, I definitely think you should go if you're serious about doing this. It's worth the money, worth the time. It's a week of just partying, karaoke, drinking afterwards. I don't know what, God knows what else. Me and the boy Ross has from All on the Table was down there. BW3 is open till 3 in the morning, karaoke bar. It was lit. It was a good time. Just a bunch of dope podcasters, man, just getting together, having a good time and really networking. It was big, it was networking, and it was dope. But before we get out of here, I'm gonna let the guys talk to y'all. They did an amazing. Oh, see, there it goes.
Damn.
Twice. I've been trying to hold it back. That's why I wasn't talking. Oh, this nigga Boom died too. Kurt. Sorry.
Every week, man. Every week, y'all know where to find us right here on with the shit. Shit. I don't know. I got much coming up, man. I should have did a music report this week. It's a lot of music out. It's a lot of
speaking of which, did y'all see Forbes?
Yeah, I seen Forbes list. I had some shit written for Forbes list. Forbes list is
Also, wait, I forgot. I'm sorry. Turn it down a little bit. I need to thank one Kendrick Geronimo Lamar for giving me the best Juneteenth ever. I didn't even know I needed. This nigga had an impromptu concert. He brought the whole LA together. Not only that, he played Not Like Us not once, not twice, not 2 times, not 3 times, not 4 times. He did it like LeBron. That nigga with 6 rings like Jordan. It was beautiful. Thank you.
Anyway, I should have brought all the music that I had. I do have a list. I will drop it on with the shit sometime this week.
He said anyway.
What the fuck ever. I don't even know how DC just interrupted. He said he wasn't going to interrupt the show, and then he come and interrupt when he didn't need to.
But I do thank y'all, man, because I feel like shit.
Oh, yeah, bro. We here.
I did. And the only reason I'm doing is I really didn't want to cancel on her because I really wanted to get her story out. I'm reading on it and just talking to her. It was something that I couldn't cancel on. It might, if any other show, I probably would have been like, "Hey, we see y'all next week." But I couldn't do that tonight. But yeah, thank you, Kendrick Lamar. Boom, talk to the people.
What the fuck? How the fuck did he get that out of there?
Eddie brought up Dr. Dre.
So, I highly advise people to go do their research on Juneteenth. That's all I got for y'all. As far as I go, man, shout out to What the Shit Podcast, man. You know I'm here with my guy every Wednesday, 8:15 Eastern. Shout out to my dude Rob, the new co-host over there on the All on the Table podcast. Fucking with them, man. That shit is fun as fuck. Also, shout out to Opulence Radio every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Opulence Radio, download that shit.
Is it because I missed my one time, bro? I ain't gonna never get a chance to be on Opulence.
Yeah, I don't know how to trust people. You know, my trust is fucked up. I'm gonna have to get you on there when I got another guest on there. That way, if you don't show,
I'm not running with nobody else, boom. I don't run with other niggas if it ain't DC and you. What the fuck?
I mean, you could be 2 guests on the show. You could be a guest with another person.
I'm
with this nigga DC.
Nigga.
I'm just trying to get him.
I'm him, nigga. You got me. You got me. You don't need nobody else.
I'm gonna let y'all. Y'all might have a great forever, but I feel like shit. So I just really, I'm like shaking his shit. Like I feel like my head getting hit. The whole time I was just holding my head down because that's the only thing that kept my shit from falling apart. But professional, so the show had to go on. I appreciate everybody who's been watching. I did something different this week. I only put this on the What the Shit page because the numbers there have been a little better, and I want to see this versus me putting it on 2 pages versus 1. So we'll see what happens. I do, like I said, appreciate everybody for watching, listening. That whole spiel I usually give, but I'm a little sick right now. And my medicine is calling me, so I'm about to get the fuck up out of here. No extras, lights and sound and none of that bullshit. Please subscribe, please follow all that good stuff you mean. Check out the website. Follow these guys. Make sure you follow our guest who was on here tonight. She does have a Facebook page. She does have a documentary coming out and a book later this year. We are in talks to get her back here in October-ish when all that's going to be taking off and dropping. So I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, next week we have
October also Domestic Violence Month too. So it's a good time to have her on.
It is perfect. See, I knew there was a symmetry when she said it. It was her idea, not mine, because I wasn't that smart. After that, we have Miss Thrifty Rose from Jacksonville. And then, what's that? The 17th, we have no show because it's my wife's birthday and I do not want to die. Even if we don't do, because we're supposed to be doing something that weekend. It's a place up in Cleveland called Round One. It's like a big arcade up in Menor. So we go in there. We went there, and hold on, here's my beef. So here's how stupid we was. You know how you go somewhere for an experience, you like, oh yeah, we're gonna eat the food there and all that. $75 for some amusement park food. I was pissed. I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good. I was like, yeah, this ain't it. I just paid $75 for some bullshit.
No, they gonna tell us we ain't ballers because we got a problem with spending $75. I just want to throw that in there.
I ain't a baller, nigga.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I'm like, damn, $15 for both of us.
Here's the other problem. It's connected to a mall, so we could have just went to the food court and ate in the food court. But we was like, oh, it's here and all the. This is how they got us. It's pretty much like Dave and Buster's, but a little bit bigger. They got like a karaoke room and pool tables and shit. It's nice, and they got bowling. Nice place. Everything. It's a one-stop shop. Do everything you want right there. But that's how they
you got go-karts and shit too, right?
Not this one. No, this is attached to Randall Park Mall, some mall.
I know,
but yeah, I spent way too much money, and I was pissed with myself. I was like $75 for 3 people. It's a bit much, Chuck. But when you trying to experience something new, that's what we need to stop doing, experiencing new shit, because then you pay for it more because you be like, I want to try this. They go on vacation and spend $50. Anywho, I was trying to get out of here. But yeah, back to what I was saying. So the 17th, no show. The 24th will be the season finale and the year 4 celebration. We're not looking back because we're not doing that bullshit where people like, this is your life, and we show like what the shit clips from over time. Nah, y'all niggas gonna have to go back and watch them shits on your own history lesson.
Yeah, we're not doing no. We already did that before. We did that a couple seasons ago.
Yeah, we did that. But what we are gonna do, we're testing out a new game that I got. It's called You Ain't Shit.
You ain't shit.
I'm not gonna tell y'all the rules. We're just gonna have to wait till the 24th. I do got 2 contestants, and I got a panel of people. And it's you guys are there, you two. So I guess I can tell. So the way it works is I read a question, and they have to. There's 2 ways I want to do it. We'll flesh it out anyway. For the guys, appreciate y'all. I'm gonna go take this medicine so I can take my ass to sleep. I still got 2 more days of work. Enjoy the 4th, but before that, you can kick it to us on the 3rd with our guest Paula Simeon, the host of Talk Shit with P. Boom, or anything else?
Fuck the 4th.
Damn.
I knew that was coming. You said
I don't even know why I asked. I don't even know why I asked. Clearly,
I knew exactly what he was about to say. Before you even said when he did like this, I knew exactly what it was.
The sickness made me ask. The sickness was like, he gonna say something profound.
You was thinking as you was asking, I'm like, why am I asking?
As soon as I asked,
why am I asking this nigga?
As soon as I said boom, anything else, I was like, fuck. that's not good. That's not gonna end well.
I know you sick, bro. That's how I know you sick. You made a real bad decision there. You would never made that unsick. You would have never made that decision unsick, bro. I know you would have.
Flu game.
Yeah, what?
Clear mind. I know the clear mind.
Flu game. That's all I got to say about that.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. You still went for 40 tonight, though, on the flu game.
I tried. Like I said, I didn't want to cancel this one. There's very few episodes. So I will say this: there's very few episodes on at least this show. I'm not talking about anybody else's podcast. I'm going to speak for myself that I feel are heavy. Carries weight, has gravity. Something that I'm not going to say we don't do here, but it's not where we try to find our lane. The show was built on, cracking jokes and talking shit, but every now and then, you have to, approach a real subject, talk about something serious that is uncomfortable sometimes. And even for me, domestic violence is one of them things. I was raised by my mom, grandmother. I got sisters, I got nieces. I have a wife, so I have a daughter. So that subject to me is one of them things where I have seen, those things play out. And have friends who those things, they played out. So that's one of them subjects to me because I feel so strongly, even growing up, it's just one of them subjects that it's heavy. So every now and then we try to approach those, but we try to approach them with the same gravity we would any other show, but at the same time, you can't because just like when we did our mental health episode, depression is one of them things where you have to tread lightly, when dealing with other people's feelings. But again, I appreciate everybody. This mic keeps going off. I appreciate everybody who watched, everybody who's listening. When this plays tomorrow morning or whenever I get this out, because I probably won't do it tonight because I don't feel well.
And I love y'all, bro. I love y'all. I love you, DC. I love you, Court.
CPD do that, Dave.
I don't know. I don't know what you're going through, my nigga, but I'm right here with you, my nigga. Go on, bro. Boom. I'm not going on with no other nigga, boom.
I'm already
saying, bro. I'm not going on with no other nigga, bro.
Come out of nowhere, you have a different conversations. Like I just want to get to the greens.
We're gonna crush the short court. This nigga
I just want to feel better, man. But how do you get out of here? Make me feel good.
Make me feel good. Hey, that's what I told Freddie on the show. I said, Freddie, make me feel good. She said, "Bro, what the fuck you think this is? Make me feel good, Freddie."
No, I
got you for it though, man. We gonna run it. It's gonna be me and you. We gonna run our shit. I'm gonna come with all the Drake. I'm gonna come with all the Kendrick. You gonna come with all the Drake. You know what I'm saying? Pause, and we gonna run it like that.
Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it, bro. I'm down. Whenever Sunday you ready, bro. I'm coming. Opulence Radio. Y'all might as well get ready and give me a spot over at that bitch too.
Damn.
What the fuck they hit me up yet? Where they
at? I'll put in the word, but you got to show up. I'm gonna put in the word for you.
All right.
Boom. Don't do me like that, bro. That's crazy.
Have his people call you.
I felt it, bro. I felt it when I had to cancel. I felt like Boom was like, all right, nigga, that's the last invite you're gonna get from me. Look at him. I felt it. I'm trying to tell you. Hey, Boom, I'm gonna bring out the good cameras and shit too, bro. Bring out that bitch for you. I got you. Look, bro. I got this one right here, bro. Got that bitch. Bro, we're gonna do a big for Opulence Radio. Get the people on my line, Boom.
Yeah, had the people call his people because I'm about to sleep. For everybody who's been watching, like I said, please subscribe. Can't do this without y'all. The most important part of the show is the people. Without the people, we wouldn't be doing this. So for the people, by the people, I'm going to take my ass to vegetate. I don't know about y'all, but tomorrow's Thursday. That means it's one more closer to Friday, which means we're almost at Saturday and Sunday, which means I ain't got to do shit. So we're gonna get this video out. Appreciate y'all, man. Be easy. Credits are rolling for pretend just purposes. I'm gonna just hope y'all really enjoyed that episode. Make sure y'all go check out the website www.whattheshitpodcast.com. Make sure you please like, subscribe, comment. That's how we know if we're doing something well. And if you don't like it, please let me know. You know, we try to switch it up for you. We want to be a podcast for the people, by the people, for the people, of the people. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoy. See you on the next one.